Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Today we are going to repair a carburetor that I think, if I've got my video order correct, that I think you guys have already seen in the new old stock parts that can go wrong. It's that HDC-39 that has the cracked plastic fitting. Now these fittings were used by Walbro especially for quite some time, throughout the 80s, most if not all of the 90s. Okay. As that plastic gets old, it can crack. A little bit of sideways pressure, just a tweak. You either have to pull all that out and find a metal fitting, or you can do it the hillbilly way. And I'm calling it the hillbilly way because, well, it's redneck engineering. It's JB Weld. That's all you need. And JB Weld will fix everything from a muffler to blinker fluid. So, let's get into it. Enough stupid jokes. So the one thing you want to make sure of before you start putting epoxy on any of your stuff is that you understand what you're trying to achieve. Now, that is the orientation that the carburetor sits inside the saw. And I will try to put it that way so that you guys can see it. Your adjustment screws are over here. Your impulse hose hooks up back here. It kind of wraps around the throttle linkage, keeping it out of the way. Your fuel hose is coming in on this side and routing over. So this needs to be angled something about like that. Okay. Then you got your air filter bracket, your screws. Okay. That's how it's oriented. So in the end, we need to make sure that this barb is facing back that way. Roughly, I'm going to say 10 degrees off of, perpendicular to this plate. So, without further ado, let's just fix it. Like I say, these things were used, these plastic barbs were used on all kinds of stuff, not just carburetors. The 360 oil fittings on the crankcase, the discharge side of everything, use those, and I've done videos where the air leaks that these types of fittings right there can cause it to suck air. Okay, so you can patch those the same way. Now watch what I do here. Look at that, it comes right off. So this should not spin around. I'm trying to get that to focus. I think it just did. This is ribbed, and it's really intended to be put in place and left in place. That's what it looks like underneath. So what we're going to want to do, we don't want to risk getting any crap into the fuel stream. So we need to keep our epoxy on the outside and at the base here. Okay, the outside of the nylon fitting, plastic fitting, and at the base of this metal fitting, because we don't want to risk it getting up and blocking the passage. So you don't need a hell of a lot. And sometimes I don't even pop the fitting off. I just do a goop around it, but I'm trying to make this look like, quasi pro level. And I don't even know what that means, other than just not looking like total shazat. Seems like the activator side of JB Weld always has more pressure in the tube than the other side, and I don't know why. Now, this is probably more than I need. Nice gray color there. Get up in there. Okay. I'm still in frame. Alright. So what I'm going to do is stay below the last... Oop. Got a little carried away there. I think I'll be alright. You want to stay below the last rib on that barb in the metal part. And now it's all the way around the base there. Now I'm going to pop that into place, making sure that I think about, okay, needs to face to the back, slightly up. Okay. So I am comfortable that that's going to seal. But the crack goes all the way up here, so we need to coat it into there too. Don't be afraid to give it something to hold on to, okay? And obviously if you're doing this on a used carb, you want to make sure it's good and clean. You can't JB weld the grease and oil. Okay. I'm going to go all the way around just for good measure. That ain't going anywhere. That is a thing of beauty right there. And I want to wipe this off so that it doesn't become a permanent part of that. Okay. Let's see if I can get up here. There we go. You see how it's nice and coated? All the way around. Obviously, you want to let this cure fully before you go at it with gasoline. By the time any of you can buy this carb, it'll be so well cured that there are no worries at all. So there you go. Whether it's something, I don't know if I've seen that style on a Zama carburetor or not. I honestly can't remember. Walbro is the one that really comes to mind, and even Tillotson may have used something like that, but the Tillotsons and Zamas more often than not I see with a metal fitting. So Walbro HDCs especially are the guilty ones with these. So there you go. If you have a plastic fitting like that, whether it's oil or fuel, if it's not totally broken off and destroyed, you can repair it using JB Weld. Hope this helps you guys out. We'll catch you on the next one.